baby.
Hey, baby.
I need to go to the bathroom.
I need to. Huh?
Go to get my glasses.
Before you go, do you like these on me? I think these are tight, but they get down.
They work for me. They work.
What's up? It's your boy AP Photography, and we back with episode 2 of Ponder of Love with my lovely wife, SP. She got a new name today. Hey yo, she got a new name today. That's dope. SP with my lovely wife, SP. That's what's up. And today's topic is, what is it? Why do relationships and marriage not last? That's today's topic.
I feel like marriages and relationships don't work in this day and time is because of the fact that everybody thinks that they have an option. So, like, with social media always involved, with people always promoting what their standard goals are, a lot of times people forget that there's always work. That even though if you set a bar at a certain level, that you have to elevate and go higher, and people sometimes forget that. A lot of times in relationships and things of nature, people always forget to be friends. It's either business or it turns into other things where we forget that the foundation of the relationship, whether it be marriage or relationship, is always friendship. So I do think that things don't last how our ancestors relationships and marriages used to last, and people say, well, that's because they dealt with a lot. No, that's because they fought or they tried. You always have one person that's willing to try, and you always have one person that's willing to fight. Mm-hmm. You always have that one person that's taking this option, and what always happens? They end up leaving, and then they compare every relationship or every situation after that to that one person, which means that very well they could have fixed the situation prior to, rather than trying to leave and not fix the situation.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like the reason why, marriages don't last is because people forget to be themselves at the beginning of the relationship. And what I mean by that, the same way you go into the relationship is the same way you should be acting during the relationship up to the marriage as well. I feel like, and I'm gonna say, I'm the person that I have forgotten certain aspects that I did at the beginning of a relationship, and then as we got married, and I started slacking. I can say that I also, once I got my wife, I did, say, well, I got her. I got her now. I ain't no need to keep doing this, that, and the third. And I was wrong. So what I would say is, I think people forget to continue to be who they are, before the marriage started.
Okay.
Did that sound right?
I mean, it's your opinion.
Yeah.
Not what was right or wrong.
I'm just saying, because I felt like I was fumbling over it. Yes, it was better than mine. Mm-hmm. God damn, that's dope.
Anywho, so my next question would be, well, not really a question, but it's always a statement. I feel like at the end of the day, you have to learn to love people the way that they need to be loved. A lot of times we want to love people how we feel like they should be loved, which is a big topic, and we always agree to disagree on love languages.
Yeah.
I think that love languages are very important. The reason being is because of the fact of this. If your mate is always buying you something, or whatever the case may be, and I know everybody probably like, girl, please buy me a Chanel bag. You're saying that now. Until you open that business or whatever, and he buys you that Chanel bag, and he doesn't give you words of affirmation, or doesn't give you a feeling or a touch, because he's like, oh, well, I bought you a bag. Now you're looking crazy. Everybody wants to buy gifts or get gifts. But if that's not your love language, those are not things that will excite you and things of that nature. I feel like love languages are things that are deemed basically from childhood. You have to think about it. If you were, as a child, you grew up with parents not patting you on your back, or, you know, not acknowledging you and things of that nature, do you really think that you would get into a relationship where that lacks it? No, because as an adult, now you have the option to whether you want to deal with it or not.
Or not. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you need to pay attention to people's love languages and listen to what they're saying and not what you want to do. Everybody wants to be bought. Everybody wants to buy things of the nature when it could be simply a touch or a sticky note on the mirror saying how good of a person you are or how beautiful you look today. Sometimes people need those things in order to press forward. And that's why a lot of times in relationships, when people end up stepping out, it's normally because that person is doing the things that they're begging the person that they're with to actually do.
Which, I'm glad you said that, leads up to what I was thinking was vulnerability from your mate.
Yeah.
Especially from a man perspective. I feel like it's kind of hard for a man to be so much vulnerable than a female because all their life they had to be in this shell coming up in life. I can honestly say, since I've been married to you, my vulnerability wall has been broken. I think this is the most that I came out and really start talking with you on camera and stuff like that because my vulnerability has now been broken. You know what I mean? But at the beginning of our relationship and our marriage, I still had that vulnerability wall. I didn't want to look soft, especially in your eyes and the eyes of peers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to look soft. I still was carrying that hardcore shell, and I had to break it. You know what I mean? And once I start breaking it and stuff like that is when I start, you know, learning the language of love.
Okay.
You
I mean,
know?
that seems fair. It really does. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's why marriages and relationships, you have to really get into those things with the right people.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to become vulnerable and then somebody shuts you down or humiliates you or brings up things that you may or may not say.
I will kill him.
Oh my God.
I will kill him. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just
Stop.
run back.
I know. But, you know, you don't want to be in a relationship with someone like that because it does make you put up that wall and you make it hard.
Yeah.
Love can actually be right there, ready to smack you in your face. But unfortunately, because of the fact that you are bringing back old baggage, which could possibly be from a relationship and could also be from childhood.
Yeah.
Relationships are a wide spectrum. And we're not just speaking from just mate-wise. I do believe that a lot of us have went through a lot of trauma that we don't really tell our mates, or we tell them parts and pieces.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you get that openness and you're ready to really talk with your mate, you can really understand how to deal with them or how to love them or what things are triggering. You're trying to figure out why they have an attitude or why they're snapping at you, but they're not telling you that the words that you said may have been said to them as a child or maybe has been said to them as a teenager and things of that nature. So you just have to be mindful. I'm big on being careful about what words you put into the universe, because once they set out your mouth and once the ear hears them,
it's hard to
take it back.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. Is that it?
No, I mean, how can we like really help the people out there that's in, you know, first year, second year, third year marriage about this vulnerability thing? Because like I said before, like it took me almost 3 years to really open up to you. 3 years in our marriage to really open up to you and be vulnerable.
I don't really think it's a time period, to be honest. It has to be the comfortability. And I feel like when you first get married, it's the honeymoon phase. The second year is like reality setting, then I'm married. Then the third year setting, and then the bills and the kids and life. And we still have to find a way to be married and still love on each other. So I don't really think that there's a time period for people to open up about being vulnerable. I do think that you need to, sometimes in relationships, like I said, go back to the foundation, and it's always your friendship is your foundation. So I think a lot of times we forget that. We forget the minor things of the date nights. We forget the talking to your mate on the phone, or we forget the
just
little
simply
memes
riding around, talking.
Right, just connecting.
Connecting like we did before,
Yes. So you have to be able to connect and not always let it just be about finances and bills and the kids, to actually just connect and be about you guys, to really sit and talk about things of the world and have a debate or just stimulate each other's minds. A lot of times everything doesn't have to be so serious. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to laugh together, because I feel like if I can laugh with you, I should be able to cry with you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, any partner that you choose in life, you chose them for a reason, and at that moment in life, you really need to learn how to be open with that person. And I know it's hard because we always want to protect ourselves.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you chose the right person, you feel me, then sometimes you can open up to them. And if not, you have to take things for a life lesson. We've all experienced a lot of things, a lot of relationships, and a lot of people. I don't want to rewind time and say, I wish I never. We always say we wish we never, but those people, situations, and relationships deem you to be the person that you are today. So if you've never experienced anything in life, if you've never experienced a bad relationship, loss of communication, loss of love, and things of that nature, then how will you ever know what you really desire and what you want and what you know what I'm saying, what you really want out of a relationship, put it that way. You have to go through things. So a lot of times I know that when you're going through it, you don't really want to hear it, but in order for you to grow from it, unfortunately, you have to kind of experience it.
So, is it true that you have to go through 3 stages of love in order to achieve marriage? Do you believe in that?
I mean, I believe in it, but not so as marriage. I feel like that you meet 3 loves in life, and each stage is something totally different. We laugh about this all the time because we have kids that are growing up and getting into relationships. Getting into relationships, and I have to remind him that it's kind of like puppy love. And not saying that I'm taking it for granted or disregarding it or anything like that. I just think that sometimes we put too much pressure on things that are kind of innocent and genuine.
Right.
And in turn, we had to go through it. You know what I'm saying? So if we never went through it, then how do we know what a heartbreak is? Or how do we know not to give so much to a person?
Right.
So you do have 3 different levels of love. You know what I'm saying? You have that puppy love, you know what I'm saying? Then you have that actual love where you might be birthing kids and things of that nature. And then you got that third phase, not them, I'm just talking about in general. Then you have that third stage of love where you really know yourself.
Yeah.
You actually love yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of different. You love yourself and you like, I ain't putting up with it. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that.
But that's after the birthing stage, the second love? That's when you act like that?
Sometimes.
Move on.
Anywho, you asked the question. That's why, guys, it's been the Ponders and it's been nice. Peace out.
Peace.